So what are different consulting business models? That's what we're going to get into right now in this video. If you're a consultant, you might be thinking about how to design your business model. And for a lot of folks, this can feel overwhelming, but it's really not. There are three key elements that make up your business model. The first one is your team structure. How are you designing your team? The second one is your services mix. How are you delivering your expertise, your consulting expertise, and your value to the marketplace? And the third thing that makes up your business model is your pricing model and how you're choosing to go to market. Let's take a closer look at all three of these things. So let's start over here with your team structure. And you have a lot of decisions to make around this. And keep in mind, it may change over time as you gain more experience and the size of your company grows. You may be a solo guru, a one-person consulting firm, and that's just fine. Or you might be the owner that's combined with a bench of independent contractors that you use sometimes, but not always. You might have a full-time tiered staff. That gets into more of a traditional consulting business model where you have folks that are at the more senior level consultants all the way down to the junior level consultants. You might have a business model that's designed as a certified, licensed external group of consultants. Think of Lencioni and the Table Group. Most of those folks don't work as employees of the Table Group, but they are all certified by Lencioni in their methodology and put out into organizations. You might be a firm that's designed with staff augmentation, where your whole business model is having a group of subject matter experts that are put into clients almost as though they're an extension of that organization's own staff. And you see this with a lot of the fractional business models that are out there now, where you'll have fractional chief marketing officers or fractional CFOs or even fractional CEOs, meaning that that chief marketing officer, that chief learning officer, that chief financial officer doesn't work full time for one company. They work for a consulting firm and they divide their time between 2 or 3 different corporate accounts. Or you might even have an entire outsourcing model. Right now, a big thing that's happening in the consulting world is entire teams of consultants are being built overseas and entire job functions are being outsourced to those groups of folks. So lots of options under team structure. Then when it comes to your services suite, you have lots of room to play here, and you might find you want multiple types of service offerings in your firm. You can create custom engagements. You can have pre-packaged programs that really never change at all. You can think of those as really off-the-shelf, pre-built, ready to go. You might offer on-demand and/or automated services to your clients. Think of on-demand learning management systems, on-demand research, SaaS and apps. SaaS, as you know, is software as a service. Many of you subscribe to all sorts of online tools you pay that monthly subscription to. That's a SaaS tool. And of course, there's apps really big right now in the people development space, learning development, leadership development space, lots of apps there. AI tools, of course, are growing like weeds right now, and we're going through a lot of churn on the technology very quickly. My caution there is don't put a lot of money right now into any one AI tool in terms of building it, because the technology is evolving so quickly. So just be really careful there. Research, a lot of companies, consulting companies, make money by selling their custom proprietary research for thousands of dollars per research report. The Association for Talent Development is a great example of that. Almost every year they issue a research report. It's typically around $1,000 to download that. And then licensing tools, frameworks, and content. Typically what we find is for a boutique consulting firm or a solo guru as a consultant, they're offering 2 or 3 of these things. I definitely don't recommend trying to bite off all of those. And then the last category is around pricing models. Are you going to market with fixed price engagements? You know upfront that the client is investing $89,000 for this engagement, or are you using an hourly model where the client is paying by the hour for the amount of time used? And even within that, there's the decision of, are you just keeping the meter running, or are you asking your clients to buy buckets of hours where they're saying, we're going to use 500 hours a month from your team or 50 hours a month from your team, and they pay at the beginning of the month and then it's billed against that bucket of hours. You might also have a by the person, a per person pricing model. This is more common with things like apps, how many seats in an online learning management system, or how many people are attending a live training or workshop. Or you might use volume-based pricing that's really dependent on exactly what it says, volume. How many licensed tools, how many frameworks are you getting access to? There are many consulting companies out there that have entire learning management systems, but the access is based on the volume of downloads that they're taking or the level of access to that training program. You might have a membership level fee structure. Organizations like Burson and Gartner charge based on the level of membership in the organization. And then of course there's performance-based compensation. We at Bold House are not a big fan of this for a number of reasons, in large part because there are so many things today that are outside of your control. And so to put your compensation in the hands of your clients and whether or not they reach certain metrics or milestones really isn't something you can control is a pretty risky business model. So we don't really recommend it, but it does make sense sometimes if you're, let's say, maybe in the sales space and you're helping a sales team to increase the results that they're getting out in the marketplace, you may want to incorporate some degree of performance-based compensation in a scenario like that. Just be judicious in when and where you use performance-based compensation as part of your financial model. So that's it. These 3 things make up your consulting business model: your team structure, your services suite, and your pricing models. And the great news is you can use mix and match across these columns, and over time you can adjust what you're doing based on the maturity level of your consulting firm and what's working best for you, particularly when it comes to your growth and your profit margin. So that's a lot of information. Where do you start on this? Well, here's a couple of rules that we'll share with you from Bold House. The first is dream big, start small, move fast. And in fact, this comes right from our 5 rules of business at Bold House. This is rule number 5. It is great to dream as big as you want, but don't get so overwhelmed by the idea that you don't get started. So have that North Star, have that vision, but right now, pick something from that list, start with it, test it out, see how it goes. Next, think in terms of MVP. MVP is simply minimum viable product. When you're thinking about what to sell to the marketplace, in the beginning, you want something that's simple, clearly scoped, repeatable, and isn't a science project. You want to get out there and start making money in your business as quickly as possible. And to do that, all you need is your minimum viable product. That might be you, one off-the-shelf offering with a fixed price. And if that's your business model right now, that is A-okay. Next, profit margins plus simplicity are the name of the game when you're looking to grow a consulting business. Sell, then build. Never build a program, an offering, or a service that you haven't sold before. The market will tell you if you're on the right track. If you have paying clients and they're ready to sign on the dotted line, that's when you should spend the time and money to build a program or an offer. And lastly, add new things to your business model slowly. Complexity kills your profit margins. And remember, top line is for vanity, but bottom line is for sanity. All right, what I want you to do now is head on over to wincorporateclients.com. When you get there, you're going to find this complimentary quick start guide that I have written for you to help you build a $1 million plus boutique firm. Whether you're a consultant, a coach, or a service provider, this is going to help give you the roadmap to keep going and really build the business that gives you that financial freedom and impact in the market that you're looking for. I've dropped that link for you below. Again, it's simply wincorporateclients.com. The other thing I really want you to do right now is join me over at our next video, how to grow a consulting business. Because once you have your business model in place, the next question you've got to ask yourself is, how am I going to grow this thing? And that's what we're going to dive into here. That link is also for you right below. Click on that now and we'll pick it up there.